Now, strict water restrictions come into effect for millions of Californians shortly as the west coast of America continues to experience a crippling drought that many predict will get even worse during the summer.
Welcome back, fellow explorers of the unknown and seekers of truth. Today, we're embarking on a journey through some of the most harrowing events in our planet's recent history. We're talking about natural disasters, those formidable forces of nature that remind us just how vulnerable we can be. As we delve into the heart-wrenching tales of 5 terrifying natural disasters that have shaken the world to its core, we will not only learn about the sheer power of Mother Nature, but also about the resilience and courage of the human spirit. Let's start with the catastrophic event that still haunts the memory of those who witnessed it. In the Indian Ocean, on December 26, 2004, the third largest earthquake ever recorded on a seismograph unleashed a series of devastating tsunamis. These massive waves reached as much as 30 meters in height and ravaged the coastlines of 14 countries, from Indonesia to South Africa. The impact of the 2004 tsunami was cataclysmic, resulting in the deaths of over 230,000 people and displacing millions. The fact that it occurred during the holiday season, when many were relaxing by the shores, magnified the trauma and losses experienced. But aside from the heartbreaking statistics, let's take a moment to consider what occurred underwater. The tectonic plates, which had been locked in tension for years, finally slipped, releasing energy equivalent to 23,000 Hiroshima-type atomic bombs. This immense force lifted the seabed by several meters, displacing billions of tons of water, initiating waves that traveled across the ocean at the speed of a jet airliner. Stories of survival and heroism emerged from the chaos, like that of a 10-year-old British girl who, having just learned about tsunamis in school, recognized the warning signs and alerted her family and others to flee to higher ground, undoubtedly saving lives. In the wake of the disaster, the world came together in an unprecedented effort of solidarity and support, with nations around the globe sending aid and experts to assist in recovery and rebuilding. It was a poignant reminder that even in our darkest hours, humanity's capacity for compassion stands as a beacon of hope. If you're finding this exploration into the formidable forces of nature as compelling as I do, consider pausing for a second to hit the like button and subscribe, ensuring you don't miss out on future deep dives into our world's most fascinating and impactful events. Next, we travel to the heart of Haiti, where on January 12, 2010, the earth shook with such ferocity it seemed the end of days had come. A magnitude 7.0 earthquake struck near the capital, Port-au-Prince, an area densely packed with people unprepared for the magnitude of devastation that would follow. The earthquake's impact was immediate and profound, toppling buildings, trapping thousands beneath the rubble, and plunging the city into chaos. The presidential palace, the National Assembly, and the Port-au-Prince Cathedral, symbols of Haiti's national identity and heritage, lay in ruins, stark representations of a country's shattered stability. With infrastructure devastated, medical facilities overwhelmed, and essential services non-existent, the survivors faced a dire situation. Lacking access to clean water, food, or shelter, over 200,000 lives were lost, and 1.5 million people were left without homes, making it one of the deadliest earthquakes in history. The Haitian earthquake was not only a moment of profound tragedy, but also a powerful example of the vulnerability of urban environments to natural forces. The world's response was instantaneous, with nations pledging support and sending humanitarian aid and rescue teams to sift through the debris for survivors. Meanwhile, The outpouring of generosity from individuals around the world highlighted the profound sense of shared humanity that often emerges from these episodes of suffering. The earthquake's aftermath drew attention to the importance of building resilience in disaster-prone regions, both in terms of infrastructure and community preparedness. Additionally, it underscored the critical need for swift international coordination in the face of such calamities, which can strike without warning and leave a lasting impact on the affected populations. Moving on from the shaking grounds of Haiti, let us address the awesome and terrifying power of tornadoes. On May 22, 2011, the city of Joplin, Missouri, found itself in the path of one of the deadliest tornadoes in United States history. Rated an EF5 on the enhanced Fujita scale, the highest rating possible. This tornado cut a swath through the city that was nearly a mile wide and traveled 22 miles. With winds that exceeded 200 miles per hour, it obliterated entire neighborhoods, leaving a landscape so scarred and altered that many found it unrecognizable. The tornado claimed 158 lives, injured over 1,000 people, and caused damages amounting to $2.8 billion. But amid the devastation, there were astounding tales of survival. We heard about individuals who huddled together in fridges or bathrooms, the only parts of their homes that remained somewhat intact, and communities that rallied together to help neighbors and strangers alike. The Joplin tornado became a catalyst for change in severe weather preparedness and response. Meteorologists and emergency management agencies have since worked tirelessly to develop better prediction models and faster communication methods to warn people of impending threats. The city itself rebuilt with a strong emphasis on constructing sturdier, more resilient buildings designed to withstand the powerful forces of a tornado. It stands now not only as a testament to what was lost, but also to the incredible human capacity to rise from the ashes. Our fourth story takes us to the scorching heat and searing flames of Australia's Black Summer. From June 2019 to May 2020, Australia experienced one of its most severe bushfire seasons. Record-breaking temperatures and months of severe drought fueled a series of wildfires that swept across the continent. The scale of these fires was immense. They burned over 18 million hectares, an area comparable to the entire country of Syria. These fires destroyed over 5,900 buildings and claimed at least 34 human lives, alongside an estimated 3 billion animals affected, some species facing the brink of extinction. The world watched in horror as skies turned apocalyptic orange and flames engulfed vast swaths of land, including irreplaceable World Heritage sites. Yet, out of the flames, a spirit of determined resistance emerged. Thousands of volunteer firefighters battled the fires, and communities supported each other through donations and shelter for those displaced. The Australian bushfires sparked a global conversation on the effects of climate change and the need for environmental stewardship. Scientists emphasized the link between extreme weather events and a warming planet, stressing that such disasters could become increasingly frequent and intense. In response, there have been numerous initiatives and policy discussions aimed at reducing carbon emissions, enhancing land management practices, and supporting affected ecosystems to recover. The Black Summer fires showed not just the destructive potential of nature, but also the undeniable impact of human activities on our environment, pushing the conversation on climate action to the forefront of global discourse. And finally, we turn our attention to a silent but equally destructive natural phenomenon: drought. Specifically, we reflect upon the events that unfolded during the California drought, which spanned from December 2011 to March 2017. This period stands as the driest in California's recorded history. The drought's consequences were far-reaching, affecting every facet of life in the state. Water reservoirs dipped to startlingly low levels, agricultural fields turned to dust, and communities were pushed to the brink as water scarcity became the new norm. The state's response was a blend of emergency measures and long-term policy changes. Water use restrictions were enacted, and residents adapted to a new way of life that included shorter showers, fewer green lawns, and a heightened awareness of water conservation. Innovative technologies and practices in water reuse and desalination gained traction, reshaping the water landscape of California, aiming for a more sustainable and drought-resilient future. This period of prolonged dryness also sparked a broader discussion about water rights, agricultural practices, and the overall sustainability of an ever-growing population living in a region with a finite water supply. The aftermath of the drought has had a lasting influence on California's approach to water management and on the prevalence of the conversation about climate change and resource conservation on a global scale. It is a prime example of the subtle yet powerful grip these natural disasters can have on society, imprinting upon us a lesson in the delicate balance of our ecosystem and the importance of being guardians of our planet. Before we part ways, and as we ponder the learnings from these catastrophic events, I encourage you to join us on this continuous voyage of discovery and awareness. By subscribing to our channel, you're not only staying informed, but also joining a community dedicated to understanding and respecting the might of our natural environment.